Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and today we're going to work on connecting up all of this cable mess to the motherboard, as many connections as we can. Now I have, there's a couple of diagrams here. I have this right here which came with the motherboard, and it has most of the stuff on it. And then, some of it is for me to figure out. Including there's, why would we have a USB connector inside the case? Well, it seems that part of this case is, has a USB 3 connector up here, but it's got, I don't know, let's see here if I have this other stuff. It has a pass-through, which is kind of odd, but it also has some other stuff here. So if we have USB 3 on the motherboard itself, may just go with that. And things like the hard drive cables and stuff, we're not going to hook those up until we're actually putting in the hard drives. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do is actually connect the power. And so we've got these cables here. I've got two sets of them. And let me change the camera angle just a little bit here. So I'm going to try and not, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this back just a tad. There. That way we can see the whole thing. Okay, so I've got this and this. I'm going to actually unattach this one and see how that works. And then let's see, is this going to make me cut it or not? No. Oh, that's some fancy, fancy twist tie there. Hang on to that. So, if I were in an environment that that had a lot of static electricity, I would have actually already connected the motherboard and then plugged in the power supply to the wall. Not with the power turned on, but just with it being grounded. That can, when you have it plugged in, the whole case becomes, becomes grounded, and you can discharge anything that way if you're having static problems. So, okay, these are nicely wrapped in I don't know, some sort of mesh here, and this this mesh, you shouldn't need to pull it apart. God, I wish that would focus on there, but guess not. Okay, you shouldn't need to pull that apart at all. And okay, so this big one right here is this is the main motherboard. Oh, look at that. It says main on it. How about that? And then there's this extra piece here, which can be broken off. But we'll see here whether or not that needs to be broken off. I'm not sure that it does. So, okay. So the main plug-in up here is up here. This is keyed so that you can't really plug it in wrong. And that's a good thing. So, okay, and it's got this clip on it. A lot of these have this clip on them that, let's see here, will it focus right here? Come on, focus right here. There we go. A lot of them have this clip. The focus is not working very well. That's right here. And that will actually lock it onto the motherboard. And if you need to pull it back again, you just hit the edge of it and you pull it back. All right, so I'm not going to worry about manually focusing this to try and get this to work better, but okay, so this is going to line up even with looks like even with this attached piece on here. And there we go. Okay, and it is in. It should be flush all the way down. There should not be a gap. It's like when you plug in something to the wall. You don't want the plug hanging out. You don't want any of it exposed. You won't see any metal exposed on these, but you want it flush all the way up against. So, that's the only way that it'll lock in place too. Okay, that one is in. Cable management is going to be a nightmare in this computer. I have so many cables. It's really quite sickening. And then I have this whole block of cables as well. What's really nice is that these are all stuff that can plug in down here. That's what those red things are down there. It can all plug in down there, and so I only need to put in what I need. And so I'll end up keeping some of these on the side. I'm not sure where I'll store them. You know, and in fact I might, since I go with this power supply, what I might end up doing is something like, you know, I don't know, taping it, you know, using an empty bay, and bundling them up and just keeping them inside the computer. Actually, it won't hurt anything. So I don't think we're going to use any of those right now, though. Okay, so we have a couple of other CPU plugs here, and I'm just looking at all of these. Let's see, CPU 2, and I don't know that there's actually this many on here. That's interesting. So I only see this one right up here, and you know, and you'll just have to bear with me. I'm going through this just step by step on my own. I've not, you know how long it's been since I built a computer? It's been maybe 10 years since I built my last computer. And now I've done a lot of repairs and stuff, but I have not done tech work really since I think about 2003. And after that is when I had my computer, well, not my computer store, but is when I had other companies and I had people working for me, and just had them do it. But I knew how to do it. So, okay, CPU 1, 12 volt 2, 12 volt 3, CPU 2. Okay, both 12 volt. And ATX CPU. What's interesting is it looks like both of these can fit into the same spot. And let's see here. I'm studying all these very carefully because I want to make sure that I'm not, you know, hooking something up wrong. If you hook up power to the wrong thing, you can blow something out. Now, a lot of these are keyed, and maybe I can zoom in on the spot that I'm looking at here so you can see it. So that you can see the ATX where it says ATX CPU. That is where I'm going to be plugging this into, and you can see that some of the holes are square and some of them are round. And and I'm looking, you know, the rounded edges, and I'm just looking here at the connectors, and I think that I have my answer here after looking at these connectors up here. You know, so these connectors here, God, I wish the focus would work better. It's just pretty close to the camera, so it's having a hard time. So the difference here is that you can see that some of these have you know, are rounded, and some of them are square. And so what it's looking like to me, these are two different ones. Even though one says CPU 1, CPU 2, the configurations may very well be different, and they are different. So I can be reasonably sure that all I have to do is, you remember when you were a kid, you'd match up the blocks and everything? I think that's all I'm going to do here. Make sure that I match up the blocks. Okay, that one's square, round, round, square. Got that. And then the bottom is round, square, square, round, and that is it. So this is the one. And there we go. That one is now plugged in. Boy, I do not like how these wires are in here. Yeah, so it is plugged in now. And okay, so didn't need to use this one, and I'm not sure that I will. I don't see any other place on this board that that would have a power connector like that. So this one is probably just unused. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up probably all the unused connectors, I'm going to wrap them up, or they'll be stuffed in you know, up in here and someplace. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet. And I'm just looking here at this bridge here, wondering whether or not I want to move it. I don't know that I can even unscrew that now that I've got the... Yeah, I think I'm going to pull this out. Well, good. It unscrews really nice and easy. I'm worried that when I get all these cables in here that I'm probably going to want to put them at the bottom, but two, you know, all the extra cables. Two is the fact that that I don't want to get it too dense down here. Yeah, it just comes off. That's what I kind of thought. This right here is a bridge for the SATA hard drives, and there's another one up here. And probably what I'm going to do is probably leave space in between, and then hook it up. I don't know, like this. Yeah, it looks like that's in there. So I'll probably hook it up right here, and then have all the hard drives go on right here. I don't know how many hard drives I'm actually going to be putting in here, but we'll see. I'm going to leave this out for the moment and put it back in later. And I think I'll be using it. May not be using it right at first because I may only have 2 hard drives in here, but I can handle 6 drives, and two of them are SATA 6 gigabit, and I don't know what this is. This is one of my drives here. It's just a little tiny thing here. This is 250 gig solid state drive. There's no moving parts in it. Oh, 240 gig, excuse me. SATA 2. And these here, they're SATA connectors. I don't know whether they're 1 or 2. But anyway, this one is 6. Well, I hope it's 6 gigabit. Anyway, I'll be connecting that to one of the connectors, and then I'll have to look on the other hard drives. In fact, if I still got one around here, I do. I don't think that they're just SATA, and it yeah, it doesn't say what speed it is. I'll probably have to do some research on this to decide what, where I'm gonna plug this one in. So yeah, I should be able to do a little research on that. I have actually 6 of these 2 terabyte drives, and I had them for my home server, which I got to get up and running again, but it keeps having fits about the hard drives, and I bought 4 of them that are all exactly the same, and then it turns out that they were not the right model. I had no idea that that you couldn't use green models in the server, and so found out the hard way when I lost a bunch of data, or they kept going out is what happened. So, okay, now let's see here. This I think is nothing. So I am going to start. What am I going to do with these? Am I going to just start putting these ones in here? I'm afraid it's going to get into the fans there, though. I'm just going to start pulling them around the side here. Let's look at these other ones here. See what we've got. Okay, so we have got, go through these in order here. Wow, damn. Okay, so I could do, with this power supply, I could do quad. Could I do quad? No. It looks like, okay, so on some of my, on my 570, my GTX 570, which some of you asked me why I chose a GTX 570 video card for this machine, and it has to do with the fact that I already had it. So it's PCIe 2, and I needed that to fit into my old machine, because that was as high as it could go. This is PCIe 3, but it should, I believe it'll work in here no problem, and I'll be pretty surprised if it doesn't. That'd be horrible. I actually didn't look to see if they were backward compatible, I just assumed. But anyway, it has 2 power connectors on each, and so this this has 2 on this one and 2 on this one, and those are the video. We're not going to need those yet. I'm going to just put them off to the side over here because I know that I'm going to need them later. And then these are some traditional, oh interesting. Okay, so these are traditional like hard drive connectors, and I don't know that I'll actually have any devices in this machine that are going to take this. That's kind of interesting that they haven't, because it's all going to use this SATA power connectors. They're very small, or they are smaller. And so there's 3 of them there, and then I assume that, yeah, I have, golly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I have another 6 SATA connectors in here. And so, you guys asked me why I had such a beefy power supply, and the truth is it only draws as much power as it needs. It won't, it's not like a light bulb that is just going to burn that hot all the time. It only, I mean, it has that available, and it may take just a little bit more power, but it's not going to be drawing 1200 watts all the time. And in fact, I have a kilowatt. And maybe after this is all done and everything, I'll load up the kilowatt and I will show you all how much power this is exactly taking, how many amps, how many watts, everything. I have a device that'll tell me. That's pretty slick, and I'll tell you how much it costs to operate it per day. How about that? So, because I can actually figure that out with that tool, how much in electricity it's costing me. Okay, so these are all going to be set aside over here. These we're not using yet at all. Okay, now for this mess. Isn't this lovely? So, okay, let's see here. Now, for all of the fans, okay, so here's what I did. I bought a, oh, you know what? I bought a bridge, a power bridge, that's actually going to plug into one of these right here, one of these older style. It's going to power 6 fans all at once. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fans in here. But the deal is that I only have 2 connectors on the motherboard that have tachometers. And so I didn't want to have 7 fans all drawing power off the motherboard. I could have got a splitter off of that, but I decided that I wanted to power them off the CPU, or off the PSU, the power supply unit, because I didn't want to overtax the motherboard. I didn't know if I would or not, but it was only a few bucks for the part. It arrives tomorrow, and so I'll be able to put that in. But this system, as it is not going to need all of the fans turned on. Not until if I load it all up full of hard drives and put in, multiple, the multiple cards and everything. Well, maybe, because I may end up using all but one of these slots here for video cards, if I do an SLI setup, and then all of the PCIe 3, these little PCIe slots here. Those I have 2 AverMedia cards I'll be putting in, and then I'll be doing some research to find out if XSplit actually has ability to run 3 of them. If it does, then I will put in a 3rd, because that will allow me to run compression on multiple streams at the same time that I am using 1 or 2 of them for cameras. Like this camera right here will be able to plug straight into the computer, and I will control it during live streams. So, okay, now let's see here. I think I'm going to plug in the fans next, and we'll do that. Okay, welcome back. So, now I am, we're going to start connecting all the rest of these cables, and this is just a giant mess. But we'll start connecting them up here, and we'll just pull off the easy ones first, the ones that are, no-brainers. And so this first one here, I can see that it is one of the connectors which I was going, I'm probably not going to use these, but here we are. I'm about to use one. Woohoo! Okay, so this is a very long cable, and so I think that I'll just use this one. They just fit together perfectly. They are, you can't plug them in wrong. And if you plug in one of these wrong, you have some serious strength and some serious issues, because they're keyed. They're a little bit rounded on the edges here. And so, okay, now that is powering this unit up here, which is, that's got a bunch of USB ports, and it's a SATA for this right here. So what I really like about that is, I have another portable unit around here, and it is, I don't know where I put it, but I have the ability to plug this into my laptop too. My laptop has an external SATA plug, and so I'm just looking at the data here on this external plug, and it's a little bit different. So, but this is one of the, well, anyway, this is the cable that goes to the external box, and for the SATA, these are the cables that that go to the data here. This is all power up here. It's really kind of interesting. There's more pin connectors for power than there is for data, but probably because it's all digital, probably not needed. Anyway, so I'll put that back up here, and but that's going to slide into here. It's going to be hot swappable. I'm going to be able to transfer it from machine to machine, and it's kind of interesting because when you think about it, I have a 32 gig USB stick, and this is 240 gig on this SATA drive, and this one's going to be faster and everything, but you know how we transport things from computer to computer sometimes through a USB stick. I have one that's 32 gigs, and that's enormous, but this 240 gigs, and data increases exponentially every year. So anyway, okay, so that is that cable, and I'm going to try and keep all of these. Golly, this is going to be such a nightmare on all of these cables. Okay, I want to see what this is. This is the HD audio. Let's see, this one looks like another power connector. Oh, it's the hard drive LED. I don't even know if I have a hard drive LED on here. I'll bet that I do. But, oh yeah, hard drive LED on the front panel. It's the yellow ones here. And so, it's all the way down here. Now, I'm really glad that this is color-coded, and okay, so the cables here typically are, I really wish that I could get the focus better on this. Okay, there we go. So this little tiny cable here is just that right there. Now, let me show you, I'm going to try and show you the spot down here where it plugs into. First though, okay, so this says HDD LED on it. And then I have another one here that says HD LED, and it shows it as going up into this block, and they're color-coded. They didn't used to be color-coded, so this is very nice. And so now, let's look down here, and can you see that there? Let's see here. Let's get this other cable out of the way so it's not changing the focus. And there you can just barely see these right here. Now I'm going to look and see if this is polarized. It is. Positive and negative. And so positive is pin number 1. Pin number 1 is always on the left. It's always on the left. And so, and on this, pin number 1 is going to be the red cable. That's always going to be the positive. And so I'm going to plug it in just like that. And now it is plugged in on its spot. You can see that the red cable is on the left. And so there we have that. Okay, these cables are just going to drive me nuts. But I don't know what else to do about it because, you know, I got to get all these plugged in, figured out, and then we'll cinch them all together. And but I got to get everything in here first, and so it's going to look like a nightmare. It's going to look like Medusa's head or something. Okay, so let's see what we got here next. What is this? Okay, so this one right here. This is a serial ATA, and I hope that this connector is 6 gigabit. And let's see here. I'm going to pull it all the way up into here because I want to be. I'm going to end up unplugging some of these and then replugging them in. That's what I bet. But okay, so I'm putting it back here. It's all going to go in to these down here. And let me show you here. So these are the SATA connectors right here. And that one is, I'm assuming that it may be the 6 gigabit per second, but I don't know that for sure. But I'm going to assume that such a high-end drive probably is. And so, and I can change this later. If I, if I were to have the system up and running and then I discovered that it was not 6 gigabit and I wanted to hook it up to another device, then I could. I can rearrange these, and it's really not going to cause very much hassle. So, okay, let's look in here. Can you see in there? And it's going to be really hard to show the connectors on this because of the way they are. But I'm going to put it in down this bottom one and try that way. Nope. So I'm going to turn it around here, and there we go. Okay, so very easy to plug in. They are keyed. They have like an L shape, and so not much risk of plugging it in wrong. And most of these cables are that way. So, okay, so now we have both power and data to the hard drive portion of this. So now we also have this USB 3 cable, and I want to know if there is, let's see, microphone, what is this? Reset switch, that one will be easy. Power LEDs, that'll be easy. And then USB 2 and USB 2 and 2.0 USB. Yep. So, okay, so the only way, let's see, let me look at all the cables here. The only way I'm going to get USB 3 up to there is through this external port. Now this has an extra little thing here. Let me see if we can zoom in on this. Okay, that right there is it's a ways up the cable here, and I'll show you how that's going to be used. So I am going to golly, I do not like all these cables, but that's what I got. So okay, so I'm going to just, for the moment, it's going to run up this way, and then in here I actually have one of these ports that, let me see if I can zoom in on it here. I have one of these ports that is not being used by the motherboard. It may be in the future, which I can then go through one of these other external ones here. I've got these rubber grommet things here. But the way this is designed with this extra little piece on it is so that I can hook it into this little lock-in right here, and then I take the back end of it right here, and it will be plugged into a oh, no kidding, it doesn't reach. Ha! Oh man. Okay, so it looks like it's all the way up here, and it looks like there's no way I'm going to get that to reach. It is like, I kid you not, like 1/10 of an inch too short. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is, as I may use this slot down here in the future for this PCIe 3, I'm going to go ahead and just use, these are for water cooling, really. And so I'm going to use one of those to put it through, because I'm not doing any external water cooling on this. And so now it just plugs in like a normal USB, and bam, there it is. All right, so, okay, see how I'm doing on time here. Okay, so now, what are we going to take here next? Probably, let's see, we've got these 3 USB cables, got this power here, actually I've got 3 USB here, and then, I don't know what this cable is here, this brown one, power switch. Okay, so I'm going to put this up here. Actually, I'm going to start putting all the cables up here that are not connected, and then we'll just pull them down one at a time and do them, because this is just going to be messy, messy, messy. And okay, so all of those are connected, and next let's plug in the couple of fans that we're going to plug in. Okay, let's get these fans working. So first, I think I'm going to put in CPU fan. It's just this one right here. It's already bound up. It's already got the cable you know, put in there. So now, I know it's hard to see, but this is keyed, and so I'm going to try and zoom in here so that you can see this. And so right up there, that red spot, that is where the where we plug in the CPU fan. Then we've got this right here, which you can see those notches on it. Well, those are going to line up so that we can't plug it in the wrong way. And so I'm going to put it in down here. And this one is labeled as CPU fan, or labeled as processor fan. And so now it is on there, and that's how that's supposed to be. So it lists it up on here. Let's see, it's processor fan up here in the corner, and then we also have two other fan things here. So we have this one right here, which is rear fan. It's 4-pin, and then we have a front fan that's 4-pin. And then we have an auxiliary fan that's also 4-pin. Now, okay, so these are all 3-pin fans. And in fact, I was tempted to grab my other fan unit. These are all 3-pin, which means that they don't have a tachometer on them. They just turn on and off. And the system won't know how fast they're going. Let me find, where did I put the other fans here? I think I put them down here. Yeah, here it is. I want to take a look at these replacement fans that I've got, and I wonder if these are 4-pin. This is it right here. By the way, there's a link in the description for all of this stuff. Where I bought all of them on Amazon, and so you can see exactly what I paid for everything. I will, in the last video of this series, I'll go through and tally the total cost of everything. I know you guys keep asking, and I actually don't know how much it was. Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, I had a budget, and I know I stayed under it. And this is 3-pin as well. So, okay, well, they're all going to be hooked up as 3-pin. I was thinking that so these are 120 millimeter fans. These are also 120 millimeter fans, and if they are noisy, I am replacing them with these. And then if these are noisy, I'll buy replacements for those as well, because I want to keep this as quiet as possible. These fans actually have these rubber pieces on here, and when you tighten it down, it keeps quiet, or quieter. And so, anyway, okay, we'll put this all back in here. I just put it all back in the box, otherwise I have a whole bunch of pieces going around, and then I'll lose things, and then when I want something, you know, I may not use all of these, but I'll keep them if I don't use them. I may use it later. So, and here, I'll just set this on display all nicely up here. How does that look? Okay, so I think that, let's see, we have rear fan, we have auxiliary fan, and then we have the rear fan, auxiliary fan, and front fan. So I've got front fans over here, of course, because that's the front. And so I'm just trying to think of, you know, which ones I want to hook up here. If it may not matter because I've got so much cooling in here, but here, this one goes to this fan right up here, and I'm going to actually hook that up as the rear fan. And now let me show you something. Since this is, let's see here, can we find that rear fan spot? There it is. Okay, since you see that's 4 pins? And do you see that that is 3 pins? So it's still keyed. And you can see a little bit of a notch on this one. And so I still plug it in right there on the notch, leaving, let's see if I can get these other things out of the way, leaving the other pin that is on this side over here exposed. And that is the way that it is supposed to be. So those can accept 3-pin or 4-pin configurations. And okay, so I have that one hooked up to this fan up top here, and then I'm going to hook one of these fans, probably, trying to think of what's going to make the most sense, at least in the beginning, so I can get the most bang for my buck. You know, is it better to do this fan or this one? Does it make a difference? I don't know. So, anyway, I think that, just because of the distance away from this fan, I think I'm going to do this fan. It also is a little bit closer to where my video card is going to reside. I'm going to put video card number 1 up here. And same deal on this. We're going to plug in this 3-pin on a 4-pin connector. And so just like this, you can see that there is 1 pin left over, and you can see the key here that fits perfectly into that right there. And that's also how you get the polarity correct. If you were to force one of these to plug in backwards, it won't actually hurt the system, but it would cause the fan to go backwards. So, okay, so there's that one. Now, got front case fans, and I'm thinking that I'm going to want to take the case fan that's highest up here, which is this one right here, and I'm going to come around the other side of the camera here. That I'm going to want to put that. Let's see, where's the cable for that? It's over here. So I need to unbind this cable. It's cinched up, and so then I'm going to have to run it inside. It's the same deal here, 3-wire, and so I'm going to run it through down here, I think. So I think that's closest. And now those ones are variable. They have variable controls on them, and so those ones I may end up connecting just 100% up to the power splitter that I've got coming, since they are variable and I can just do them myself. If I don't know, I think these don't have the tack wire in them, and so I don't think that the computer is going to know how fast they're going. But it may. I may be wrong on that. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in here that I don't necessarily know about, and I think that, let's see here. This cable has got a bunch of twists in it. I just want these twists out of it. It's not going to hurt anything having the twists in it, but and I think that I'm actually going to run it up through here. I think that might be a little bit cleaner. Same deal. I don't need to zoom in on this one. I'm going to use 3 out of the 4 pins. Plugs in right up here, and that one. I'll just make sure that's the front case. Yes, that is the front. So, okay, as many fans as we're going to have running in this at the start are now connected, and the fans that we're not going to have yet, I'm going to actually pull their wires through here, and just to get them out of the way. In fact, there's going to be room back there, which I may show you that in a later episode. There's going to be room back there, about this much room, where I can run a whole bunch of cables back through there. So if I've got holes in here, I can run them through there and then pop them out up over here or whatever if I need to. And in fact, I should do that right now for the hard drive LED, because back there, if it's a mess, it's not so much of a big deal. And then come through here and put that one in again. See, look at how much cleaner that is. That is so much better. Man, what a difference that makes. Okay. So, because I'm really irritated by all these cables, I mean, honestly. I don't like how many cables got floating around in here. And this, in fact, too. I think I'm going to run this. Hell, I'm going to redo a bunch of this through the back up there, because they don't need to be running through all of this. Yeah, I can just come down here and connect up to the first one. Again, that's keyed, so I can't put it in the wrong way. And then my hard drive one here too. Let's put that one through there. This is going to make it so much nicer, because really I can just come through here and I can just cinch up some cables back there. They're all going to be held in. It won't actually be messy and in the way of airflow or anything. And so, look at that. How much that gets that out of the way. That is awesome. I'm really happy about that. You know what? I'm going to redo this one here. I'm going to do it lower. I like this case so far. I think it's pretty well designed. You know, except for my snafu with putting in the cooling. That didn't work out, did it? I really wish it did, but that just was not meant to be. Now I wonder if I've got enough room, enough length on this to put this through. Maybe I do and I'll get lucky. Wouldn't that be sweet? Just slip through. Damn it. No. That's too bad. Yeah, that's really too bad. Okay, do I have any other ports there? Well, at least I have this here. I could run it down this way. Get some of that out of the way. This just sucks. This particular cable and the way it's all run, and there's just no place else for me to run that. It just pops out up in there, and so yeah, okay, well, yeah, I don't want it running into this other stuff either. It's too bad there isn't a little hole out over here too, but I don't think that the cover, no, it's a solid piece, so that's not going to happen. Okay, now I wonder, look at this. Hell, let's even do this. We're going to run this one. Can we run this up through here? Will that actually work? I don't know if that'll fit, but I'm going to try. Just think of all the cables that we don't have in the way anymore. When, yeah, look at that, that's going to work. Sweet. All right. This is just so much cleaner and everything. Okay, and this one we can do the same with this. So when I disconnected that one, I did use this to unhook it. It's got a clip on there, and so it does hook in. Okay. Yeah, this as clean as possible, as direct as possible. I don't want stuff all bound up and in the way, if I can help it. Ooh, man, it's looking like, yeah, I'll show you this before I close it all up, that's for sure. So, okay. Now, and these are pretty malleable. I can bend them pretty good. Won't hurt them. I didn't hear any snap there. I think it's not all the way in. Yeah, it's not. There we go. Okay. Look at that. It's kind of in, it's almost in the way of that, but I should have enough clearance there. But isn't that sweet? Look at all these wires I've cleared up. Oh, I'm happy about that. I mean, honestly, I am happy about that. So I think that that is cool. Okay, so let's see here. We were doing the fans, and it looks like I have everything that can be run up through is run up through now. That is so sweet. I wonder, I don't think that's long enough for that fan to go all the way through and around. But, you know what? Am I going to try that? Is it going to be able to go up? No, there's no way that that's long enough. So, don't mind me while I talk to myself. Okay, and that's not long enough either to go through. So those have to be up here. And that's okay. You know, some wires, I am so happy about just the amount of wires that I got out of here so far. I'm thrilled about that. That is sweet. Okay, now let's start pulling these down and taking a look at them. Okay, power switch. Now, power LED, there is on and off. On and off. Interesting. Chassis ground, front panel audio. Okay, well, it looks like on and off switch is going to be power. It's got to be power. And so, okay, on and off is the red ones on the connectors down here. This one's right down in here. And so, okay, and I don't think that it's polarized. And like, I think it's just a loop, so it doesn't matter which way it's plugged in. Okay, so we're going to be able to run this one through here as well, and then all the way down here. And since this one is labeled, you know, let me just go ahead and go down to this spot here. So it's labeled power switch. The other side is not labeled, and since it is labeled, I'm going to install it with the label up so that I can easily read it later on if I need to take a look at it and decide that I need to do something different with it. So, okay, another one down. Woo! Okay, let's take these other colored cables and see what they are. The reset switch, which is, oh, that's interesting. This one's got purple on it. And the reset switch here has got purple on it. It's right down in this block here. And looks like it's on the bottom. That one also is not keyed. It doesn't require being plugged in a certain way. It's just an on-off switch. With power, it just doesn't matter. And okay, so put that is not wanting to go on. Why is it not wanting to go in? I'm going to unplug the power switch here so I can see that better. There we go. Got that one plugged in, and I put these labeled down. Now I know I'm not going to be able to see here very much, but I might be able, if I was laying it down, I might be able to get a good angle and see it better. And just the more knowledge is better. These right here, since they all go up to the same spot, I'm probably going to end up binding these all together down in here. I'll bind them tight. You know, I'll actually tighten them up when I'm all done. Right here, I'll probably put something, you know, right here in the middle to keep it tight, and then I'll bind them up in the back to keep it all as cinched up as possible. Also, having all the cables in the back is not going to disrupt the airflow at all. And that's what I'm most excited about, is because the airflow, if I totally load this up with everything, the heat in it is going to be pretty incredible. And so I got to have good airflow. It's going to be really, really important. Okay, now this blue one, this is the power LED, and so now it has here, it has both power LED, which is on the same block we've been working on, then it also has alternate front panel LED power, and they're right next to each other. I'm not sure that I understand that, and that I understand why that is. So, interesting, and it's just one of the pins. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it too much because I really only have one power LED on this. Now, if we look on here, it does list on here that one of them is a positive, and so the positive is going to be the colored one. Black is usually neutral or negative, and these actually list positive and negative on them. And so the positive is on the outside. It's pin number 2, and that is right next to the power switch. Okay, just making sure I got these right. If you plug this into the wrong spot, it actually won't hurt anything. But plug these in, and just going right up here in the same block. Oops, I have to run it through. Let's run this one through too. No sense in having it out here. Okay. Run them all through the same way. And now I forget which one was positive. There we go. Okay, one on the outside. So negative is this one right here. Okay, that block is almost full. We actually have nothing else to plug into it. Reset, on, off, hard drive LED, and power LED. You know what? There was only one other pin left on it, and wasn't used for anything. So, okay, next we're gonna do the USB connectors, and so this front panel USB connectors, it lists the pin assignment here, and it shows that they're all up here. Okay, let me find that on here now. And okay, so it's all the way down here, and front panel USB 1, 2, and 3. Front panel USB 4. I don't know why they're out of order. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what it says. So there's all of them there. So you see you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over here. And they're all front panel USB. I don't understand why though. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why they are not just in numerical order, but whatever. So, okay, so here are the cables for these. These are pretty easy to, oh, interesting. This may not be so easy. I'm gonna have to look at this. Okay, so this says USB 1, USB 2, and then USB 3. There's 4 of these, and I'm just looking up here. There's 3 on the front of the case, but I've got this one that actually has 2 these plugs are different, and that's what I'm struggling with here. You see how one has 8 slots or 9 slots, and the other one has 5 or 4, and that's what I'm kind of struggling with here, is why the difference when they're the same things. Now, if we go ahead and, oops, did I accidentally hit the focus on there? So, automatic focus. Okay, so I can see here that it's got the stuff listed that looks like I can plug in both. I just don't understand the difference of why it's that way. So, but we'll plug it in and find out. So I'm gonna run this through up here like I have everything else. Just gonna be a lot cleaner. And run them down into here. Okay, so I guess I'm going to look at this this bigger one first, and I don't know that it matters, which these are plugged into. This one though is keyed. It's the same as the top row, and this only has 4. It has 5 spaces, but only has 4 plugs. So I can't explain this, but I'm just going to plug them in on good faith and see what happens. So, okay, USB 1, it's keyed. And, okay, doesn't feel like it went in very good. That, and then I just don't understand how that's going to work. Maybe these are sharing the same channel or something, and this is USB 3. Why is it all on its own? I don't understand that, but you know what, it's okay. So I'm going to plug it into the USB 3 spot, because I don't know if maybe this is an alternate for one plug, so it's going to use USB 1 and 2 out of this. Maybe that's how it's going to work. And so I'm going to plug it into the USB 3 spot just because I think that's cleaner. And if there is if that one is shared on these, then I don't have to worry about that. So I don't think that's the case, but I just don't know for sure. Okay, so 1 cable left. And then we are done with this episode. Awesome. And what I'll do is, for the cable management portion, it's going to be in a later episode, because I'm just not ready to bind all these together yet, not until I have everything in. even though that is part of, you know, doing all the cables. So, okay, this is HD audio is what it says on here. And I am actually not going to be using the HD audio. I use USB audio, believe it or not. And it is keyed. It's got it so you can't plug it in the wrong way. It says that it's a front panel. You know, you can see it here. You can see one of the spots is blank, and that is all keyed there. Let's see, it's yellow. It's all the way down here. So I think that I'll run this one through the back end as well, and then wow, that's going to be so much cleaner. I just can't believe it. So, okay, yeah, I think that I went through there, and since this is keyed, I can't plug it in the wrong way, and it's down there tight. Okay, well, that is if I wanted to use the onboard audio. There it is. Okay, so that is all the cables to plug in at the moment. I've got all of the USB ports, all of the switches, this hot-swap dock, and the only thing that I've left unplugged right now is I have several fans that are not plugged in yet, and that's because I need the bridge for the power for those. So, okay, sorry about this being so long, but the fact is that I believe in going through everything thoroughly on the video, and you know, there's been other people that say, hey, you know, you could have shown that in 30 seconds instead of, you know, 10 minutes. But the fact is, I like to explain everything as I go, because if you've never ever done this before, you want as much information as possible. And if you've done all this before, then you're probably not even at this point in the video, because you don't need to watch it unless you just happen to like watching me for whatever reason. But okay, so there we go. I have several power connectors that are left over, but you know, I'll probably just bind these up and cinch them up later. And so that's it for this episode. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.
If you made it this far in the video, you may as well subscribe. That's what I want you to do. You obviously liked it well enough to watch it this far. So look at this. This is Frostmourne. This is a Runes of Magic sword. This Runes of Magic sword is one that we're giving away as second prize to one of you subscribers, just for being subscribed. That's all you have to do. Subscribe and accept our messages, or watch our videos where we draw for prizes. So this one is it's a really nice sword. It's signed by some of the American staff for Runes of Magic. And then there's the big boy here. I got it on my shoulder because it's so darn heavy. You know, the sucker is 16 pounds. Look at this. So it's a two-handed sword here, man. This is a beautiful sword. And we're giving this away when we hit 42,500 subscribers. It could be you. So, just subscribe. That's all you have to do. We'll do videos selecting the winners, and we'll send you a message in YouTube as long as you accept it. Just make sure you accept messages from us. To do that, put us on your contact list. And you just add Marky Dragon to your contact list, and then you'll be able to get messages from us, and you'll have 30 days to get back to us when we send you a message. Or if we can't message you, you'll just be on video, and you just gotta watch the video and then contact us. So anyway, if you made it this far, you really should subscribe, and I would appreciate it. So anyway, that's all.